Alright guys, what's up Twitch and what's up YouTube? Guys, it's FJ. It's Thursday, just a little bit past 11 p.m. and this is BrackCast number 67. Originally I didn't think I was going to have a BrackCast tonight because I was shooting a wedding earlier today and I thought I wasn't going to finish until 11:30 p.m. or something like that, but luckily I finished earlier. I made it back in time. So we can have this podcast. Deji will be joining us very shortly. But yeah, just as an intro, guys, summer's here. It's June 30 now. Tomorrow is Canada Day, so it's Canada Day long weekend, and for the US side, it's July 4 USA long day, USA Day long weekend, I guess. Um, but yeah, summer just started June 21st. It's getting really hot out there weather-wise. And we were gonna go first along just more of like a happy route as to like, what are our plans for summer. This is the first like fully free kind of summer of post COVID, I guess you can call it, post pandemic. So for example, tomorrow I'm going to my ever first Electric Island. It's like a music festival, EDM house, outdoor concert thing. Happens in Toronto. I believe it's yearly, but hasn't been happening because of COVID. Not really my music scene, but I'm just going really because I'd really like to see my friends that I haven't seen in a while. Oh, what's up, man? I hear you now.
Oh, how's the? Can you hear it clear?
Now I do, yes. Now I can hear you.
I'm using like a lapel mic. I'm trying out some shit. Just give me like a minute. I'll pop on video.
Okay, yeah, it sounds good. Sounds very
Nice.
clean.
Nice.
Very
Hands-free.
broadcasty sound.
Cool. Very cool.
But yeah, I was just giving them an intro. Summer's here, and we're looking forward to spend more time outside. And then yeah, you and I were trying to figure out what else we can talk about. And apparently, you told me. I only found out about this because of you, but I googled it after. But yeah, apparently, summer introduces some sad news for a lot of people, as apparently summer brings on breakups. I did not know this. So, with your expertise or maybe experience, have you experienced this before? Is that why?
Oh
Like,
yes, my good sir.
elementary, yes. I cup.
Yeah.
But yeah, what happened with you? Do tell.
Oh, I mean, well, the last serious relationship I was in ended in the summertime, right? And it was like on the cusp of like Caravana weekend and stuff, and there was
Ah,
like a lot of activity going on. So like, I think that also like coincided with the timing of it,
you
because
don't
like
think
after,
like coincidence or is it related?
um, no, I mean, I think as far as the timing of it, there's probably definitely like a correlation. Maybe the context behind it, as far as like the reasons behind the breakup, maybe they had been like simmering under the surface for a while or whatever. But as far as like when the actual act happened and the timing of it, I
Um,
think probably summertime was more conducive to that, taking place.
so you're saying it's not so much that the summer promotes like new reasons for breakup. It's more like maybe the breakup was inevitable. It was just a matter of when, and usually it happens in the summer. Is that what you're saying?
I would say it's more so that, but it's also like the other part too, where it's like there is something about this, like the timing of summer and like the energy of it that kind of will change people's mentality, and it just kind of affects people's mood in general, right? You know,
Okay.
I don't know whether that be in a positive or negative way, but I think, yeah, it could be summertime is more of a, this has, been going on for a while, but it's like the timing of it is more conducive to this breakup. And in a smaller part, it could also be summertime is really changing the way I feel, and like I really want to, just like explore this new, uh, you know, just this new energy, right?
Uh,
And that can also like lead to maybe wanting to like experience that for yourself and not be attached to someone while you're doing it. You know
mm,
what I mean?
yeah.
So,
So, as is it just that one time that happened to you, or a number of times?
um, I would say, yeah, the time before it too, the timing was probably about the same. Maybe like late spring,
Yeah.
more so like late spring. Yeah.
If I can think about like the breakups I've had in the past, like most of them were in the turning of like the new year, like usually winterish going into the new year. But then
Yeah, that's true.
or like maybe spring to like transitioning to spring, like Mayish. I can remember a number of relationships finished in May, but I never really
Mm.
associated it with anything weather-wise. It was really just an accumulation of like the breaking down of the relationship itself, like the commitment was just not holding together, and then you reach a breaking point. I googled it though. Let's share the screen with you. Let's go right here. All right. So, if I don't know if you guys can actually read this. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Oh, I can't. So, warmer weather increases breakups in the spring. And there's a thing here. Do more people break up in the summer? So these are just a bunch of like Google questions. And it shows here. Oh, what is happening? I can't.
Oh,
Huh?
something else broke up.
There we go. There we go. That's better. So it
Yeah.
says here, according to Facebook data from 2010 to 2011, that was like over a decade ago though, people are least likely to change their statuses to in a relationship between May and August, leading researchers to conclude that summer months are bad news for relationships. And there are many reasons why people may be more likely to split when the hotter months hit. And apparently, there's the most
Wait,
scientific theory. Yeah, go ahead.
change their statuses to in a relationship?
Yeah, are least likely. So like
Oh,
new,
least likely. Oh,
yeah,
okay,
like
gotcha,
new
gotcha, gotcha. Okay.
relationships. Yeah. So the most scientific theory behind the phenomenon is that the warm weather makes us want freedom.
Boom. Boom.
Suddenly it's hot out, people are buzzing, and we shift from needing security and a cuddle buddy like we experienced during the cold winter. And I heard about this, like how like it was like a I don't know if it was a meme or it was a joke, but I remember seeing posts coming around September, October, November, where women were like, yeah, need me a cuddle buddy for the winter, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And on that side, I heard about like for the cold because there's not a lot of opportunities to go out and socialize. So, um, yeah, you're gonna be home alone or home a lot. So you kind of want the companionship. I get it though. Summer, yeah, you're gonna have more opportunities to go out and socialize. There's more events, going to the beach, going to concerts or whatever
hmm
maybe. I never thought about that before because like I said, it's never really happened to me. I guess most of my even my long-term relationships survive summer. Like they last
Yeah.
through summer. There was another thing here that said here. According to study by David McCandless, breakups most frequently happen on Valentine's Day, spring season, April Fool's Day, Monday, summer holiday, 2 weeks before Christmas and Christmas Day.
2 weeks before Christmas and Valentine's Day is hilarious. Those
Yeah,
are the
that.
dudes breaking up with the girls. I promise you.
Well, yeah. Well, like why? Why would you say that?
Valentine's Day, it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
what's
I
that
gotta
about?
get this girl a gift.
Oh, he wants
I
out?
hate this bitch. Fuck that. I'm out. And then Christmas is like, oh man, Christmas coming up. She's gonna be expecting a gift. But I hate this
Oh.
bitch.
Oh, you know what? What if the Christmas thing though is more like the expectation of like, yeah, you gotta come see my relatives. You gotta spend time with my
All
family or
that, bro.
whatever.
I want to see the data on that. That's probably 90% dudes, yo. Oh man.
It says here, after 1 year, stuff gets real. Why most couples break up after 1 to 2 years of dating. What? The first year of relationships comes with many challenges. At a certain time, relationships are more vulnerable to a breakup. The truth starts showing. Love is blind. People want a return on their investment. What? After a year, reality sets in. The great no-no, your partner isn't generous. Oh, a year is the time when most people determine where the relationship is going.
Do you not feel like a relationship is an investment?
Yeah, of course it is. I do, yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
to
what
think
I'm
about a return on investment, do you think that way? Like, am I getting
well,
what I
like,
get? Like, do I am I getting what I put in? Like, come back to me? Is there like some expectation there?
of course, there has to be. You don't
Expectation,
think so? Yes.
expectation, or like appreciation for when it comes. But if it doesn't come, then yeah, there's grounds to like reevaluate. I don't know if
No,
it's
but
like
I'm saying in the sense of like, okay, the reasons why you would get into a long-term relationship with someone, right, is you see a future with them. You have an expectation of who this person will be in your life long term,
yeah,
and like what they will bring to the table, what you can offer them, what you can provide for them, what they can provide for you. If at some point they are still not that person, then no, you didn't get a return on your investment. Like if they, like for instance,
yeah,
you hear the common trope of like women will say, "Oh, I was with this dude, and at first, he was really thoughtful and he did all these things for me. So, I also, you know, also was vulnerable. I contributed in the relationship, and then like 5 years down the line, he got like super lazy, and then he like didn't do shit. He was always like taking money from me. That's not the same person that, the girl, you know, pictured herself with in 5 years, right? So like
yeah,
she didn't get a return on her investment. If you think about it, maybe it's just the wording of it, but I think people go into relationships like wanting to die, like give part of themselves to this person, but also expecting that this other person will do the same and will keep doing that. And
yeah,
oftentimes that's why people break up, is because that person didn't maintain that that partnership, or that ar- yeah, partnership, that agreement.
yeah.
If you
But
think about it that way.
so that also assumes that the individuals, either one or whoever is the one evaluating their return on investment, has already determined what they're looking for.
Hmm.
But are all relationships should all relationships be like that? Like, do you think there are some where you go into a relationship thinking you know what you're looking for, but then it changes in the relationship? Like, is that rare?
You're okay. Hold on. And you're talking about what specifically what you think you want
Yes.
changing.
Uh, yes. Yes.
I mean, I don't know if that's rare. I'm sure it definitely happens. Um, but I'd want to wager that you wanting something and then still wanting, that thing on like majority of those things that you want remaining
Okay.
the same. You know, I mean, it could change, but I get what you're saying too. Because like people get into relationships with like someone that, you know, they might just be like, okay, let's see how it works out. And then they actually end up liking certain things about that person, you know, down the line.
Yeah.
That's more so what you're talking more.
Well, traits. But maybe it's like even like life expectations. Um, Let me think. Like, let's say you're single for a while and you know the kind of woman that you want to be with, or like you're like, yeah, I want. You have this picture of like the kind of woman you want for your relationship,
Okay.
but you're single for a while, and
Mm-hmm.
then you come across somebody, you're attracted to them, they're attracted to you, but they don't fit, let's say, that definition of what you said you were looking for. But there's the attraction.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Okay,
go
but
for it. Let's say you both go for it because, I mean, you're both attracted to each other, even though you kind of know up front, okay, maybe not what they're looking for. Do you think there's like a likelihood of like, okay, well then that's not gonna last? It's like that should fail?
okay, so now we're getting into some nuanced conversation because like when you say you're attracted to this person, that is what you're looking for in a sense,
Well, the attraction part could
like
just start
physically,
off physical first,
right?
and
Okay.
then yeah, you know, still like just being nice and like amicable, or even just being likable is good. But when it comes down to like even expectations, like for the future down the road, like you know, when
Okay.
you finally have I've heard of those relationships where they're talking, they're having a great time, they're going out, they're enjoying each other's company, and then finally they have the conversation, let's say, of like they want kids, and then they find out one of them doesn't. So it's like, oh damn, you
I think
know?
it would depend on I think it depends on the man or the woman, or if you're a man or a woman,
Oh,
like I guess in a heterosexual situation.
okay,
Um,
okay.
because I'm thinking like men will put up with a lot to stay with a relatively physical attractive person.
Mhm.
Actually, hold on, let me think about that. Men will put up. I don't know. That's interesting. But I think it might depend on if you're a man or a woman in a
Have you
heterosexual
heard about that
situation.
whole thing of like in a relationship, like more attractive women are more willing to be in a relationship where the man is less attractive
Oh yeah, that's
than the other way around.
what for sure.
But then they also say like for a relationship to stay together, like the man has to kind of like the girl more than the girl likes the guy.
Hmm.
As in like, yeah, like it'll more likely last if the guy is like um unwilling to like what's the word,
I don't know about that.
where it's like I don't want to lose her, like that feeling of like I don't want to lose her. Whereas if the girl is the one who doesn't want to lose the guy, but maybe the guy's not as into the girl as much, it's more likely to break up versus a girl who apparently women will value um, like commitment more.
I feel like that depends on what age group we're talking about.
Age group two.
Mm-hmm. Because
Okay.
like when you get to like for I guess for women when you get to like 30s, 40s, 50s, and there's kids involved, I think their onus to maintain a committed, you know, situation where everything is whole is a lot more higher than the man in that situation because like biologically his ability to literally start another life and family is still way more viable, right? You know what I mean?
Okay.
If you're looking at it that way, like I always like to like try to look at these things like from a scientific point of view. Um, but yeah, I mean,
So
what do you think?
so okay, back to first like the whole attractiveness thing part. Like You heard of ladder? The term ladder, where it's like someone's like if they see a relationship where one person is identifiably more attractive than the other,
Hmm.
then someone looking at from the outside will say like, "Yo, that's ladder." Like someone's like going out of their league. Someone is dating out of their league.
Okay.
And would you say so? You did confirm it earlier. You would say that that's more likely to happen that the woman is more attractive than the guy, but it's less likely to happen that the guy is more attractive than the girl.
Sorry, say it again.
Relation like the likelihood of a relationship, is it
Hmm.
more likely that a more attractive woman would be with a less attractive guy than the other way around? Then
For
a more
sure.
attractive guy would be with a less attractive girl. Okay, and so
Yeah.
why?
Cause okay, I feel like men are visual creatures, right?
Okay, it's only men.
Men
Yeah,
are
I mean
well,
for
like
sure, like
yeah.
more so.
As far
Yeah,
as yeah, like
yeah. Is
that's
that like
just
is that like
fact.
science?
That's just facts, bro. You know,
Is that like genetic?
like men are just yeah. It is like literally, and so like our our desire and our ability is always on a quantity level, right? Like you can literally just scroll through Instagram and just see hot chicks and just do that all day,
Okay.
right? I feel like women just aren't built like that. One, right? Two,
Well, you hear a
like
Tinder
what?
swindler. Like
What do you mean?
Tinder
Oh yeah,
swindle. Like the women, these women are looking for. It's more like status and wealth and like power versus physical attractiveness.
right. And two, like men are always looking for like a lot of mates, whereas women are looking for the best mate, right?
Okay.
I feel like there's a lot of attractive dudes, but like even if you hit on a girl and you're like hot or cute, she probably has like dudes hitting on her all day. And even if you're hot or cute, like what if you're broke? What if you don't have a car? What if you like you're not dressed well? Like they factor all those things in too, right?
But
Whereas
not the other way around. Yeah, it'd just
a
be like
guy can
hot.
literally see a hot chick with a fat ass and some fucking rags, and he's like, "Yo, I'd beat yo." Like, am I lying?
No,
He's like,
it's
"Yo,"
true. It's like it
I was
doesn't
like, "Yo,
matter.
I'd beat." Like, it'd probably be so fire.
Like yeah, like a really attractive girl who's I don't know, just like yeah, in debt or something, or
Bro,
not a lot like going on outside of the physical attraction. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You could see any guy probably still would like, that's what you get from like these Beauty and the Beast stories or like Cinderella stories, right? Like that's what it is. Like
yeah,
Made in Manhattan or whatever. Like all these stories of just like coming up, the come up. But
yeah,
if you flip it around, the best looking dude, if he's like some bum, it's not enough. Like yeah, it's definitely
yeah.
you just
Nope,
no
doesn't
woman's
matter.
gonna like find any kind of security. Even a power woman though, even a woman
That's
who doesn't
I
need
feel
it.
like that's where it changes.
Oh yeah,
That's
it
where it
doesn't. It
changes.
actually
I feel
does.
like because like women who have power and wealth and status now they
They
don't
don't
need
need
that
it.
things from a man. They just need like the basic like time and attention.
Are you
You
sure?
know, because this is what I've been told. Like my 30-year-old girl like friends tell me this. They're like, yo, like literally all we want is just someone to like spend time with us.
Okay, but
You
I've
know?
also heard the other side is like no matter how much power or status or wealth a woman has, they're just always gonna want a man who has more above
Which
them
goes
because
which
it's a
yeah,
sense of like security and protection and power,
yeah.
right?
Which goes back to your earlier point. Because what is it you were saying? Because like women want someone who is like taller than who's this comedian said it? Women want someone who's taller than them, smarter than them, makes more money than them. But like, what does that mean for for the dude on the other side, it means we want someone shorter than us, dumber than us, makes less money. Like we will literally put up with all of that stuff. But anyway, yeah.
Right. I mean, look at okay. I mean, it's a separate world when we think about celebrities. But look at Beyonce, right? She technically could have just had anybody. She could have chosen anybody, really.
True.
But she is Queen Bee, right? Like she's Sasha Fierce. Who else could it have been besides Jay-Z? Maybe Kanye, but you know, Kanye's kind of crazy. But like, you know what I mean? Who else could it have been? I can't see anybody else. Puff Daddy, nah. Well, I mean, maybe it's an age thing, but like, isn't Puff and Jay?
That would work. That would work.
You think still it would work? I don't know because
that would be actually kind of really interesting. Oh shit, that would be really interesting.
Because like
that would actually be really interesting.
Why? Like the relationship itself?
Puff and like Puff Daddy and Beyonce. What?
Why?
That would be really interesting. Because Puff is like an entertainer. He's like a show. I mean, Jay-Z too. He is like he's a rapper and everything, but Puff just has like that show business.
Yeah, Puff was more like a spectacle. Puff like more of a spectacle. Yeah.
To him and Beyonce and shit.
Puff and Mace, you know, like
that would have been really interesting. I'm gonna pose that question on Twitter. Let's see what people's reactions are. Puff ended up with Beyonce.
Then Jay-Z would end up with who? Because who's Puff with? I don't even know who Puff's with.
He was just like.
I just don't think Puff. Actually, let's look it up. Net worth, Puff Daddy. 740 million.
Yeah, I think Jay's at $1 billion.
Jay-Z net worth is 1.3 billion. So okay. Yeah. And then I know Beyonce's net worth.
Maybe Jay could have been Rihanna.
Beyonce net worth would have been. Wait, what? This is not true. This has got to be worth more than this.
Whose?
Beyonce.
What is it?
450 mil. 450 million. So Beyonce's 440 million, which was a lot closer to what I said Puff Daddy was. Puff Daddy was 740 million. Well, it's still double. I didn't know that, but okay, you know what? It's because I'm mixing it up. Rihanna's net worth is huge. Yeah, Rihanna's 1.4 billion. Yeah, so if you think about it, Jay-Z and Rihanna would have made more sense. And then Puff and Beyonce, if we're thinking like scale.
Yeah. Interesting.
But who's Ree with? Like Ree's not been with.
She's with ASAP.
ASAP Rocky.
See, she's with. This is.
Okay, what's ASAP Rocky's?
Really attractive women will always like date down because like
10 million.
There's something about the dude that they're with that they can't find anywhere else.
Is that what you're saying with like Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson right now?
Yeah, even maybe in that situation, because people are probably like, yo, even I'm like, yo, what the fuck is Kim doing? Like, how are you with this fucking weirdo? But really? She's probably got some secret swaggy thing about him that she just likes. Apparently, that's the thing about him, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you look at his history of women that he's dated, they are all apparently like attractive. Like they're all, you know, lookers. So Kim Kardashian's net worth 1.8 billion, and Ye's net worth is 2 billion.
Man, I wish I could find this video of Patrice O'Neal breaking this shit down, yo. He does it so beautifully.
Well, okay, I know there's truth in comedy, and yeah, it's just because comedy states something that's already known. That's what's weird about comedy. We laugh when someone says something we already know. Right? Like a lot of these jokes that people laugh at is because, hey, I relate to that. That does happen to me. But the delivery is something about sarcasm. Something sarcastic about it that makes us laugh about it, even though it's our reality. It's kind of weird. We don't learn anything from comedy. Okay. Let me not like burn that like bridge with like comedians. I'm just saying like when we watch like a Dave Chappelle special or any special,
Hmm.
any comedy special, these comedians will say something we already agree with, but it's the delivery that causes us to have like this extra umph of like, amen, like hell yeah, like nice, and laugh. Either we laugh or like we praise it. Whereas if we just read it in a book or on the internet or somebody said it so, simply, it's less impactful, even though it's the same statement.
Oh, wait. You feel like comedians say things that people agree with mostly?
Yeah, yeah, we already, yeah. Well, the crowd, like in the crowd, the people who laugh and like praise them, like the fans.
That's true. I
Yeah, they'll
will.
say a lot of things that are controversial. Yeah,
Okay, that's
but it
okay.
doesn't
That's
mean
what I
that
guess.
what they say is still not appealing to the crowd that supports them.
Okay, that's
You
fair.
know, that's what I mean. Like you're getting laughs from the people who already agree. It's not like it's not like people go in there and they're like, "Oh, that's something I haven't really thought about," and then he says an opinion, and you're like, "Huh, I never thought about that."
Oh no, that happens too, though.
Like what? Like
That I
what?
feel like that definitely happens though. Like people go into a comedy show thinking one way, and then they'll hear something that a comedian says, and then they'll be
And
like, "Oh
change their
shit!"
mind? Like what?
Like,
Like give
okay,
like what?
so for instance, right? Like, as you can tell, I'm a huge Patrice O'Neal fan, but
Yeah.
basically, what um, I was in a, I was breaking down to this girl who was asking like why a dude like won't like, but she wants to like say I guess she wanted to say I love you to a dude, and
Mhm.
she felt like she couldn't say it first because he wouldn't say it back. And I was like, why does he have to say it back? And she's like, I don't know, because like I'm saying it. And he's like, but he doesn't like feel the same way, obviously, if he's not saying it back. Like you saying it doesn't imply that he has to reply it, like say it back, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
she was like not understanding it. And so I played this clip for her where Patrice O'Neal, he was like, ladies, how many times, um, you talk to a man and he finds you attractive? He finds you, uh, he wants to have sex with you, right? He finds you sexable, right? And they're like, a million times. That happens all day, right?
Mhm.
And he's like, okay, just because he finds you sexable doesn't mean you find him sexable, right? Boom. The same way with love. Just because I'm lovable. And then he just did this. And she
Yeah.
was just like, and she just made this face. And I was like, so I think in situations like
Okay,
that,
but are you saying that at that moment she was like, "You're right," praise? Like he's not like celebrating it though. But it's
no, but
again,
like,
maybe she didn't think about it in that way, but
yeah,
she can see the validity in it. Like she can see why she's in her predicament, right?
yeah, I think that's along the same spectrum. Maybe clapping for it would be at the end of it if she was like super open-minded.
Right.
But like in the, to your point of more so like thinking one way before you hear a bit and then like changing your way of thinking after you hear it on some level.
Huh. Because I think what you like the example you just gave is already truth. Like when you painted that, like Patrice painted it like that. You just described it right now too. You almost verbatim probably of like how he delivered it. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Women will listen to that too, and it will still make sense. But it doesn't
Mm.
mean they're gonna be like, um, they want to accept it. That they, even though it's truth, it may not be still something they want to accept.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, for sure.
Right? Like like go back to that example where she wants to say I love you to this guy, but she wants to say it only if he says it back.
Yeah.
Now, do you think a guy would think that same way? If a guy wanted to say it first, not even if just say it first, just the guy wanted to say it, would he wait? Would he wait to know first
I
until
don't think so.
that she will say it back first, or will he just say it and not even care if she says it back or not?
I think he'd say it and not even care if you said it back or not.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, same, same. Like I don't think I've ever been
Like,
afraid to say it if I felt it.
yeah, and
Even if they, and I'll always, I remember, sorry, in like other relationships, I'll say stuff like, "You don't have to say it back. That's
yeah,
fine with me. Like
exactly.
I, like I don't care.
And I
No
feel like that
rush, you
because
know."
we're built to take rejection. That's
Okay.
another thing too. Like dudes are always like trying to like talk to girls all the time. We have rejection just like built into our daily, like, well, not daily, but like routine engagements with women, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
hey, I love you, fuck, you know, whatever.
Has that happened to
If you
you?
don't love,
Has that happened to you where you
what?
said it
Oh, where I've
and
said it.
then they didn't right away, but they end up doing it anyway?
Um, there's only been one situation where I've said I love you first to a
Well,
girl.
it's only been one situation where you
Yeah,
said it
usually
first.
they usually they say it first to me.
And so when they do you say it back?
No, not
Oh, you.
immediately.
Oh, not
Sometimes,
immediately. Okay.
nah, because
So they take that
well,
risk. Why are they doing that
yeah,
though? As you said, women generally don't do that, or do they?
well, I didn't like to brag in the situations, my good sir.
Because I'm lovable.
And I guess it's because I like, I don't know. This is the logic that I will use for them too. It's like, yo, just tell me how you feel. And I feel like because they're, I always create a safe space for people, like in general with like their emotions. They're just open to like expressing that stuff. I feel like sometimes with women, they might not have that feeling of a safe space with a man, even though they do love him, you know? Um,
Question:
so,
this scenario where you're saying more likely for you in your experience that women said it first. Did you pursue the women? Like, did you pursue the relationship? Like, were you attracted to them first and you went
yeah,
after
we
them
were
and like you
already,
courted and whatever?
oh, like in the beginning, you mean?
Yeah, like the very beginning, who caught who? Like whose eyes caught who? Like who pursued who?
I think it was back and forth.
Like,
It was like,
cause would you say was there ever a time where like, cause as you said, men are built to take rejection. We could pursue someone and they just like flat out reject us. So it's like immediately, okay, well then move on. But
hmm,
if if you pursue someone in the same manner, but they don't reject you, so now you're like seeing each other, you're dating. Somehow through that process, you just kind of have this identity where like you're just lovable. Like they fall for you. Like women, if once you get through that first barrier, that first wall of like trying to pick them up, generally you're like the package where they're like, man, I'm falling in love with this guy. Is that, would you say that that's why?
in my
Were
personal
you
experience?
above them? Were you ladder? Like,
No, I mean like, that's interesting. Okay, so the one I feel like the one situation where I said it first, but in that situation, she said it back to me though. So I don't know if
like right when you
she
said
want,
it,
yeah. So I
right?
don't know if
May
she wanted to say it and she was waiting.
you never asked? You never like talked about that?
Nah, so that's
Just said it.
interesting.
Okay, cool, cool.
But that was a situation where I pursued this person and like asked her to be my girlfriend. She was like, okay, yeah. Um, and then like literally like a month or like 2 months, some crazy shit. I was like, yo, I love you. She's like, I love you too.
So,
Yeah, it was like a really like, intense, very passionate
would you
one
say,
year thing.
okay, you said that, you said it really quickly too. When you say I love you is when you choose to be exclusive, when you choose to be in a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend. But do you
Oh,
ever
oh
see,
no.
no? Okay, but you just said that. It's like, I love you. Do you want to be,
Oh no, no, sorry. I said that do you want to be boyfriend, girlfriend after our second date, and then 2 months after said I love you.
okay, okay, okay. So
Yeah.
you can be in that exclusive state, boyfriend, girlfriend, without love. And yes,
Oh yeah.
okay. And I will say too, it's because early relationships, you have no idea what love is. Like, you might think you feel it, but it's just an emotional high. Like, if it's your first love, let's say,
Hmm.
how do you really know it's love? Because you've got nothing to compare it to, right?
Hmm.
So, where was I going with that?
That's your first love.
Yeah. So, I mean, have you been in several relationships in your life now? Would you say is a good word? Several,
Yes.
many, long
Well,
term,
no,
short term too.
not many, but like several. I think
Handful.
about probably like 4 serious ones.
And by serious, it's because
Maybe
they
like
were
5.
longer than what? Longer than
Actually, I
what?
don't know. Maybe more like 6, like serious ones, and 3 long-term ones.
So, three is a subset of the six.
Yeah.
Okay, so um, when you in your early relationships, did you find yourself willing to say "I love you" earlier? And then in your mid relationships, did you find yourself holding back? Like, if you felt like you wanted to say it, you wanted to wait. Did you ever go through that where you're like, maybe there was a time where you said it easily, and then there's a time where you're like, man, I'm feeling it, but I don't want to say it right away. I should wait. And then I don't know, maybe the next stage after that where you're like, doesn't matter. Like, I know how I feel now. It's like I don't even have to question anymore because you've gone through so many relationships.
Um, I think the tragedy of it is I had more of a capacity for it earlier, and then as time went on, I just felt like I kind of lost the ability to love a
Really?
little bit.
Why?
Yeah. I
Jaded?
don't know. Yeah, man. I'm
Baggage,
jaded
bro.
kiss. Fucking jaded kiss, bro.
What? Why?
Man,
Are you
bruh.
actually to the point where you're like, I don't want to get hurt. I don't want my heart broken anymore. It hurts too much. That
Yeah, I feel like that's really common, you know.
Cotita,
After you,
bro.
what? Did someone just make a comment? After
Yeah.
some, after you've
What's up,
been in
Cotita?
kind of different situations with people and they may not have ended the best way, develop a little bit of like, trust issues and stuff. But at the same time, you also learn to know what you really want in a person. And that can get also more difficult to find as you get older, right? So all those things
Uh,
factor into it. And you also get more comfortable with yourself as well. So like someone
yeah.
would really have to be like interesting to really make you fall in love with them, as the
Okay.
person you are now, right?
Yeah.
So I
And
feel like
yeah,
it's a
got it for
combination of all
or
those things.
Godita. I do remember you. Uh, yeah, I do. Um, so, but you're saying because you know yourself better and you know more of what you're looking for, that's why you tend to be
That's a
more
it's a
jaded?
it's a factor too, right? Because it's like,
Why isn't that more reassuring or like confidence where you're like, I'm ready, doesn't matter?
oh no, well, I mean, in meeting someone long term that will be compatible with that
Yeah.
is more so. I feel like a bit more difficult when you know yourself a bit
Oh,
more.
like the filtering, like narrowing it
Yeah.
down to like actually
Yes.
choosing. You're right.
Yes.
I will
Yes.
say it's easier to get more picky with more
Mm-hmm.
relationships.
Yep.
It should be. Like, you would think that's the natural course of the process. Like, the more
Yeah.
relationships you're in, the more picky you'll get
Yeah. Because
about
when
it.
you're young, like,
You
you
don't
fall in
know.
love for the dumbest shit. Oh my God, he got me a ribbon. I love him.
Ribbon.
Like, fuck.
No, well, my man, I didn't say the word love first. Like, in terms of like when I was really young, it was like grade 8,
Mhm.
and I had this crush on this on one of my classmates for like 4 years. Nice mustache. And
Damn,
but
4 years, son.
she'd already been like technically she
Ran through. I'm kidding.
no
Sorry.
well, well again this is elementary school. It's
No,
elementary
no,
school, so it's not like
that was terrible. I'm sorry.
a lot can happen or anything. I would assume that not that much happened in elementary school, but you
Hey.
would know. Like I can remember up until grade 4. grade five, I'd say, is when I started seeing relationships in my class. You know, like, oh,
Mm,
they're together, right? What does that really
mm-hmm,
mean in grade five? I don't know. You're 11, right?
mm,
But then they're generally short lived, and
yep.
then but now, oh well, now she's with somebody else, and now she's with somebody else, and now she's with someone
Yeah.
else over the course of these years, and I finally got my my chance, my turn, I guess, in in grade eight, right?
Oh shit.
So I had this crush on her for such a long time. I never considered really anybody else. So when I when she finally, told me she liked me too, or we were into each other, she was so quick to say love. Like she
All
wrote
right.
like yeah, it was like letters
Oh
where she
shit,
said it
son.
first, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that's what that was, because I didn't know. I had no
Mm,
idea. So like this person's saying it to me already. I've had a crush on this girl for 4 years and not been noticed, and now okay, if she's using the word, that must be what I'm feeling now too. So then
mm-hmm,
that's how I first defined love. Like it's like, oh, it must be this emotional high that I'm in right now. It's when I want to be with someone and they want to be with me. Boom.
mm,
Such a simple definition, right? But then you realize later that's falling in love. That's all just like infatuation. Like later on it's when it's
mm,
like sacrifice, compromise, commitment, loyalty, honesty, trust. Well, the stuff that actually matters, right? Because you don't really think about that then. It's all
mm-hmm.
about attraction at that point. Just attraction, and like, yeah, you don't know. You're a kid. Like I was a kid. Like I
And
don't even know if it was like, I don't even think I was in puberty yet, right? I was just
oh
getting into
shit.
puberty. So it's like, what is that? Like, I didn't think about them grade five, six. Did I think about her sexually? I don't think so, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
probably not.
you know what I'm saying?
Like guys will like a girl just because she likes him. You
Guys
may
will
not
like a girl just
like
because the girl likes him.
like a girl might just like come up to you that's probably like not necessarily your type. Be like, hey, I was kind of looking over there and I thought you were kind of cute and I thought to say hi. And you're like,
And then,
oh
boom,
shit,
I'm hooked.
thanks. And you're like, oh shit, all right, that was cool. Shit, who is this girl? And you just like her simply because she came and said hi to you. Like
Cause
that will probably happen to a girl like 20 times in a day. She'd be like, oh, thanks, yeah, huh, thank you,
but not. Yeah,
thanks.
yeah, 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 yeah. True, true, true. And you're,
You
dude, you're
know?
right. Like that's happened to me.
Yep.
That's happened to me.
Yeah, man.
Um, but then I guess it's also like because we, as males, maybe as men, we don't
It's not common.
really we don't evaluate our worth until later in life when we're like smart
That's
enough.
true. That's true
We don't
too.
really understand our value until later when when we mature. When we're mature,
And it changes though. It
what,
changes.
our value? Like don't we
There's that trigger word again. Because I'm
don't we
thinking of like
high value
I'm
man?
I'm thinking of the who who is the most what are the most valuable pages on Instagram right now? What's the what age demographic is the most valuable page on Instagram right now
And what do
to
you mean by
have?
valuable then?
That would have like the
The most
best chance of
followers?
having the most followers and most engagement.
I don't
Just think
know.
about it.
Like you mean like influencers? I don't know.
Age demographic of I would say probably 25 to 18-year-old women.
25 to 18.
Yep.
That's weird how
They're
you went down.
running
You didn't say 18 to
running
25. You said 25 to 18. That's just weird. Okay.
yeah, because I'm thinking of like well, yeah, they're like running Instagram right
So
now.
25 is like peak. You're on your way out.
Yeah, because like if no, and the reason I say this, if you let me even say 23, 23 to 18. And the reason I say this is you'll notice a lot of
But why are they all
girls
women? But go ahead. Yeah.
will post their age in their Instagram
Mm-hmm.
what's it called?
Bio. Like
Bio,
little.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That stops after like 24. This is something I've noticed.
Ooh.
Yeah,
True.
that stops,
True. You never see it over 24
right?
or 23. You're right.
And it's like you think
Interesting.
about the traffic that goes to those pages. It's just horny dudes, bro.
Yeah,
Horny dudes, and that's like en masse.
but is that
It's-
value? I guess it's
well,
value in terms
I'm
of the
talking
social
just in
media
terms of
sense.
metrics,
Yeah,
just in
yeah,
terms
yeah,
of
yeah.
strictly metrics, right?
Gotcha,
Like,
gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha. Yeah.
that's yeah. So like, in terms of okay, so I'm talking to metrics on the platform of Instagram, but
Mm.
when I say that changes throughout like um, age, you also think of like the maybe the 50-year-old dude, right?
Mm.
And the 50-year-old woman. Both probably still like as far as equality, let's get all that bullshit out the way. Like both are equal. Let's not fucking, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
as
yeah.
far as like viability and in terms of biology, the reproductive capabilities of a 50-year-old woman are not the same as the reproductive capabilities of a 50-year-old man. In
Yeah.
terms of profession, ability to make money, they can relatively be on the same scale, but I'm willing to wager there's a higher likelihood that the 50-year-old man is probably making more money just in the way society, like the
Yeah.
patriarchal society that we're in, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's just what I mean in terms of just like how that changes in your age, like, you know, age demographic. If you look at probably a 25-year-old to 20-year-old woman, they're probably making a fuck ton more money than a 25 to 20-year-old man.
Mm.
You know, just in the way I feel
Oh.
like,
Oh, in that. Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
yes. Yes.
yeah. Just in the way they're able to navigate that like mid 20s. I don't know how these
But you know
fucking
what though? I don't necessarily think it's because of like a particular, you know, not to discredit whatever, you know, like hard work that it does come with, but it's like it's not necessarily a skill though. It's just the
uh
market itself has deemed just the market has created this demographic that's just consumable, like where just men want to consume it. I don't necessarily think it was like it wasn't invented by the woman.
you're talking about the earlier the Instagram stuff, right?
Yeah, the 18 to
Okay,
23,
yeah, yeah, okay.
that like that, yeah, as you said,
Yeah, no,
metrics,
you're
high
right. You're right.
value. It wasn't invented by them. It
No,
was
yeah, you're right.
created
Created
by
by
the
men.
market, and they just filled it. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, you're absolutely
Right.
right.
Which is different. Which is
Yeah.
so. Which is why, like, OnlyFans. No, like a woman did. I bet you. I don't know. I don't know for sure. Maybe we should Google it. I don't think we have to. I doubt a woman created OnlyFans. Right?
Mm,
The
okay.
person who created OnlyFans likely was somebody who consumed the kind of product that OnlyFans markets.
Probably.
But if you look at, you know, that whatever, these 50-year-old men, right?
Okay.
Okay, kind of a segue, but not that I'm going to deviate or tangent from this topic, but like, who do you think is the most followed male Instagram account?
Isn't it Cristiano Ronaldo?
Oh, I would believe that. I would believe that. I figured The Rock would be up there.
He's probably up there too.
But yeah,
Because
Ronaldo makes sense because he's so international though. Like it's like
yeah,
soccer is huge. That's more
yeah.
like soccer
That's on
fandom.
numbers. Yeah, that's like a
Okay,
but
let's look it up. Let's look it up. Top, let's see what top 10
yeah, and
most
just real quick back to my
followers. Yeah, yeah,
point
yeah.
about like the
Yeah.
25 to 20-year-old woman like making more money than the 25 to 20-year-old men. I feel like it's because they have a combination of still being in peak, I guess, beauty stages or whatever, and also developing, being like in a very sophisticated mental space as well, because they've probably surpassed their male peers as far as just the way they're reasoning and thinking.
Yeah.
Just because you hear like about how like women grow, you know, grow faster than men, whatever. So I feel like that combination, they just are able to navigate spaces a lot more fluidly in that space, and that's it during that
They
time.
are
And
like
that's
you. I
I
just
think so.
like I'm saying too. I feel like it's more like the space has allowed for them to enter. They're not really navigating it. The space is built for them.
I'm not talking about the Instagram stuff.
Oh, who are we talking about? Sorry.
No, I'm just talking about society, like their status in society.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like I feel like a 25-year-old woman would probably be working probably at some nice job, would probably have a nice car and a nice apartment way sooner than a 25-year-old dude would. In this day and age, I think that's way more likely, at least in the first world or whatever. You know?
Okay,
Their,
so
what's that called? What's that ability to make money term called?
ability to make money,
I
like
forget. They're probably their
entrepreneurship.
ability to earn. They're like to be an earner.
Okay,
Anyway,
I
yeah.
don't even know what that word is. Okay, so top 10 accounts in 2020 apparently was number one was the Instagram official account. I didn't even know why people would follow that. Number two is Cristiano Ronaldo. Three is
Oh shit.
Ariana Grande, and four is Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Oh
Right?
shit, son.
Then you got Kylie Jenner, Selena Gomez, Kim Kardashian, Leo Messi, again another football guy, Beyonce, and then Justin Bieber. That's top 10 in 2020. Let's look up. Okay, Selena Gomez, Kylie Jenner, young, right? They gotta be still in their like young 20s.
Oh,
Ariana
yeah.
Grande, she's still maybe young 20s, mid 20s. Cristiano Ronaldo, Dwayne Johnson, and Leo Messi. They're the top three guys. After that is Justin Bieber. He's young, yeah, I get it. But like all the other guys up there are what, like older. I'm gonna say Leo
Yeah.
Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, like 30s now.
Older, seasoned championship soccer veterans.
Yeah, so that's different. That's not even about like clout of just like marketability where like they're using Instagram. They had the fandom already.
Yeah.
Instagram
yeah.
was but The Rock, Dwayne the Rock Johnson, I think is like he was like an organic Instagram user that earned his following with Instagram. Yeah, movies, wrestling, of course, like he's a celebrity, but he's top 4.
That's true too. Yeah.
Like there's a lot of like celebrity actors. Like,
That's you know what? Holy shit. That is a really good point you just made. This motherfucker uses Instagram
Yeah.
all day.
yeah,
All
you
those
know
other, all
Ronaldo
those
and Messi
other,
don't. You know, like they don't.
okay, but okay, so okay,
They have
your
some guy
point about
using it for them. They have some other guy
yeah,
doing it.
but your point about them already having those millions of fans, right?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
off
yeah,
their skill alone is what propelled them to that level, right?
yeah.
The Rock, he also has all this shit going on. And then he's also using, hey, this is The Rock Johnson. Like,
Yeah.
I see this motherfucker every day, right?
yeah, yeah.
I want to bet
He
you
he works hard
everyone else,
on the platform. Yeah.
everyone else on that platform is just posting pictures of themselves and their products. Hey, oh, this is my new product, Skims.
Yeah. No.
Go get
Oh
that shit.
no. I will tell you, dude. Oh, let me look at this. Grande, Kylie Jenner, Selena Gomez, Kim, and Beyonce. They have someone else posting for them.
Oh,
Like
what?
they have they have to. There's no way they're doing it
come on.
themselves, dude.
Come on.
They have to have some sort of like publicist or like their what's it called, like the agent or like yeah, like
Instagram
their
or
their
whatever.
publicist or like their marketing agent. They have a social media manager, social media account like manager to handle all their posts. They're not doing it themselves. I'm just willing to bet that. But
Yeah.
as you say, Dwayne, he posts like his meal on every Sunday. Like, look what I'm eating today. Like, it's like that's not somebody going to his house and be like, all right, let's do your Sunday post, Dwayne. Let's do that. Like he's
Actually,
doing
you know
that.
what?
You know?
Just because they're also two international outliers. Well, because Kim, she has a massive brand. She has a television show. Like she's
Yeah.
also a massive person.
I'm
Selena
surprised
Gomez is
Riri's not
also
up
a
there. Why isn't Rihanna up there? I don't know, but okay.
Yeah, I want to find the person that's actively. I want to find the woman that's actively using her Instagram and doing all the stuff. That's probably like on the level of The Rock.
Jen Selter, like you remember her? she was like for years she was the ass of Instagram, right? Like
Oh man.
that's what she was known for. Like, and I don't know if her career came like boosted from that or did it hold her back? I don't know, but I know she made money. Like she must have gotten enough sponsorships
Yo,
through
making
Instagram
bag.
alone, right?
Yo, get your money, girls. Shit.
Okay,
Go
now
get.
yeah, it does say 2022. Number one is still Instagram. Two is Ronaldo still. Three is Kylie Jenner. Kylie's now number three.
Shit,
Four is Messi. Five is
nice.
Selena Gomez. Six is The Rock. So The Rock got beat by the other soccer players, and like because it's also youth, right? Like
Hmm.
if you think about Kylie reaching number three, she has her own makeup line too. She has her own like fashion line, and she appeals to probably more of the vast majority of users on Instagram, which are like kids, like they're younger
Bruh,
gen.
everyone on Instagram just wants to look like her.
Yeah,
That's
and
the thing. Like,
it's also because like we know like that's not even how she looks like. Like that she basically created this look based on what society deems beautiful. So she got work done. Obviously, everyone knows that. She got work done in every aspect of her like physique. And
mm,
now she has what society would deem to be what society wants her to look like.
hmm.
So now you're saying, yeah, everyone wants to look like
Jeez,
her, but it's because it's what
345 million.
yeah, dude, look, check it out. Number one, 516 million Instagram official. I don't know why anyone would follow that. Why follow Instagram's account? Like that's just
On
weird.
Instagram. Like, are you
Yeah,
dumb?
that's I don't know. I never even thought to look it up.
That's like, yo, that's like going to church and bringing a pulpit and just sitting in your chair with a pulpit and your own mic. Like, what's wrong with you?
Number two, 451. Kylie 345, 335 Messi, Selena 325, Rock 320, Kim is 316, Ariana
Kid.
315, Beyonce 261. Hey, and Chloe. Chloe is now 10. Chloe made the top 10. That's weird. I don't know. Why is she up there? I, no offense. I don't know. I didn't know she had that much of a following. Chloe
Yo,
Kardashian.
you ever just sit back and just think of how much things are going on in the world?
It's been a while, but just now I did. Just because you asked.
Just like, yo,
It's
like,
sad, man. Yeah, like
not even just the sad stuff. I'm just talking about in general, yo. Just like, yo,
okay,
there's
okay.
mad shit happening.
What is the
Just like
wait?
looking
What's
at the list of people
yeah?
and like I was reading the text and I was thinking about the person that wrote the article and I'm like, yo, who wrote this article? What's their day? What was their day like that they had to compile this article for us to read today? Like, I just be thinking about these things sometimes, man. Like, man, so
Okay,
many
like
things happening.
okay, it's sad, but I definitely don't consume news out of my own choice anymore. Like I don't actively search and consume news. I get
It's too much.
headlines. I get headlines from you guys. Like if it's somebody sharing something in Funny's Instagram, or somebody sharing something in TrueBrack in WhatsApp. That's my headlines. Facebook sometimes if my family posts a headline on in our chat, but if it's even in my feed, just like a bunch of my
Bruh.
friends who post, I don't see that. Like I don't look at feeds.
Bro, I can't
Yeah.
do it anymore, man. I just accidentally, I probably shouldn't say this online because I was on MSN, the MSN homepage, and like
That
I was
exists
just
still?
hit with because it's like a login thing. But anyway, I was just
Okay,
hit
okay.
with like a bunch of like news articles. It was like 5 rows of like 4 lines. Like, yo, what the fuck? I just had to close the window. There's so much shit. Fire here. This person's radiator is broken. Cheap AC unit.
Like like okay, top headlines. I would say again. I'm gonna only say the word top because this is what I've found. It's what I found out about. So, a lot of posts on Instagram about pro-choice, pro-life, that whole verdict, like
Bruh,
with
that,
Supreme
yo,
Court.
how do we not talk about that?
Yeah, like, well, what did
Yo,
we say? What do we obviously think it's stupid. Like
oh my
there's
God.
oh, I don't see anybody in my circle who would possibly be like that was the right thing. Like who I don't. Why is it news? It's news
Yo,
because it's stupid, but like how
I
does
saw,
that even go? Yeah,
I've
go
been
ahead.
thinking about this one post that just like fucked me up all week. It's like, okay, well, all dudes now, everyone gets a vasectomy. Or like what? Or yeah, just something like that. Oh, all dudes now, everyone gets a vasectomy. Just imagine if that was like a rule or some shit. Like
Oh
the
yeah,
court
yeah.
determined if we could get vasectomies, and I was just like, yo, what the fuck?
Is that
So just no, it's not. That was just like a
yeah?
hypothetical
No, no,
thing
no.
that
I know, I
someone
know,
made
I
up.
know, I know, I know, I know. I'm just trying to relate it back to like the actual news, which is basically yeah, they've now deemed control that if a woman gets pregnant, she
Yeah,
has to have it.
yeah,
Like, well, in that
dude.
is it, what is it in that state? Is it all of U.S.? I don't even know. Like, is it just that
It's
state? Like,
so the Supreme Court has so that was implemented. I think I don't know the exact year, but the whole Roe versus Wade thing was something that was put in place so
yeah.
that they could have abortions if they got pregnant. And so now that that's been repealed, it's up to the states it's up to the individual states to determine if it's illegal or not. And
So is
some,
could you give me the Coles notes of like this Roe versus Wade? Like, was it like some kind of criminal charge where
yeah,
like
well, I think,
someone is being charged for murder for doing
I
for having
think,
an abortion or something? Like what?
no, I think what happened was a woman got raped,
Yeah.
and they used, I think, Jane Roe as her alias to protect her identity,
Uh huh.
and she was raped by this guy, and I think the court ruled that she could like terminate the pregnancy.
She could,
Yeah, and if
but now they're
they
ruling that
didn't,
she can't.
she wouldn't be able to.
Right.
Yeah, so that was like put in place then, and now it's being repealed now. So basically, if someone like same situation got raped and they want to terminate pregnancy, they would have to have that baby.
They're not allowed.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh my god. That's so
And then
dumb.
like yeah, and then some states, which were like I guess the red states, they already had like a clause, like a trigger clause or whatever, that once the Supreme Court removed this, they would automatically ban it and make it illegal. And I think they would also outlaw like um, birth control pills and shit. And like, fuck me, bro, it's
What?
fucked up, son.
They're gonna outlaw contraception.
I heard that shit the other day. Like birth
So
control
what?
pills will
So
be
what?
like outlawed.
Condoms? So
Or sorry,
condoms too?
no,
Like,
not
oh,
contraception.
you mean like you mean after morning
Uh,
after
morning after. Yeah,
morning after pills? Okay,
yeah,
and I guess yeah, birth control pills like
yeah.
because it could still be there,
Mm-hmm.
but your body will naturally flush it out with
Mm-hmm.
birth control. Not naturally, but yeah, we'll do it with the birth control. Wow.
Son,
What?
fucked
Yeah,
up,
this is
yo.
why is the court I hate I don't I it's one of these things like yeah, why is religion? This is basically it. I saw this like rant that I was very supportive of. Like basically this woman is like why is religion in the court? Like why are we incorporating one specific religion or maybe like a number of them probably believe this, but like but we know Roman Catholic for sure has the strongest pull in law, and I don't get it. I don't understand.
Hmm. Well, it's like
I mean,
Louis
I
adjacent.
understand because like that's who dominated like the new world was Roman Catholicism, but like where we are now, we're just logic. We just make sense. Why is it still there? Like why
Dude.
is it still dominating law? Like remember the whole like marriage thing too? Like you're not even allowed to marry like same sex.
Oh,
The
oh
Catholic
yeah, they
Church
repealed
will
that.
call it a union. It's called a union, but they won't call it marriage.
Oh shit.
Like this whole thing, like that was a thing. Like it was years ago, but like again, why is the court involved? Like sorry, why
Mm.
is the church involved in this like public
Man,
issue, public
I
issue.
just,
Yeah.
I just need to get a bunker, yo. Fuck all this shit. Get a
Oh
bunker,
yeah.
because in 30 years, I'm sure it's gonna be crazy out here.
What's kind of
I'm
sad
gonna,
is like
I'm,
you don't get the headlines about this war anymore. It's like I'm sure they're still talking about it like regularly, but like it's not on social media anymore because
yeah,
it's not hot topic anymore. It's not cool anymore. It's like we're ready to talk about something else now. We can complain about Roe versus Wade now. Now we can complain about R. Kelly now, or like, you know, because it's
jeez.
we get our attention span, even if it's still important and it's still ongoing. We just like, well, we've been there, done that, and
Yeah,
we
there was
move
a
on so
school
quick.
shooting like 2 weeks ago.
That too. Oh, gun control was the thing for a week, less than a week, and so quickly dismissed. Not dismissed, but like, all right, on to the next headline to like focus on, right? Like,
It's too much, man.
it's sad, dude.
Yo,
Like,
but at the same time, like, and I just had this thought now. If you think about the world before the advent of the internet, right? All of this fucked up shit was probably still happening, maybe even worse.
right?
And we all in our little individual corners of the world didn't know about it. I mean, we had some sense because of the news that maybe we get from relatives when we call them or whatever. But okay, so we had the news on TV. We had
Yeah,
that. We had
yeah, and
international news, BBC
newspapers.
and all that shit, newspapers.
Yeah,
So like we had some sense, but like, yo, it's 24/7, bro. Like it's too much. We are not, we don't have the capacity to absorb that much information and be able to process it properly. So that's why it just comes in and just goes out, man.
it made me think of the whole like knowledge is power. Is it though? Because even now with the internet, now that we have access to all this news and it's in our face, we don't even have to try and look for it anymore. It's in our face. We still are powerless to change it. We are still kind of like powerless to have impact and influence, aren't we?
Well, I don't know about that. Because I would still agree that knowledge is power. It's just our ability to, we have a knowledge limit, I feel like on average. Now, when we start talking about things like Neuralink and being able to use machinery to adapt to human physiology, our capacity to process data would probably increase, significantly. And then we could do several things like cook while doing arithmetic and fucking, you
Okay,
know, you know,
I know what you're
simultaneously.
saying in terms of like the statement knowledge is power. You're thinking knowledge though in terms of like learning something like a skill, like learning.
And applying it.
But I'm talking knowledge is power in like news. Like just knowing what's happening, what's going on. Hasn't
Okay.
given us any power over what's going on. We just know about it. Like you know how before you'd hear about
Okay. I
the
got you.
courts passing laws, we didn't know about it. Oh, like just the other day, the Senate or whatever passed this law that has changed all this stuff, and nobody knew. Nobody knew. It's like they did this private vote while it was like the Super Bowl, or they did it during like the World Cup or something like that, Olympics. Then they do this bill that really changes a lot of stuff, and they keep it hush hush. But
Okay.
now it could be out in the open and everybody knows about it. They're still gonna do
Okay.
it. They're still gonna do it though.
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna.
Hmm.
That's what I mean
Okay.
about knowledge, news
Facts.
knowledge, not skills
Facts.
knowledge. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Facts. So in that sense, that's superseded by power is power.
yeah,
A
yeah.
Game of Thrones, a little Game of Thrones reference for you.
Power
Because
is
in
power.
that sense, like, it's okay. It's one thing if one person knows about the secret bill, right?
Yeah,
Then fucking the 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 Sith Lords are doing their bullshit, right? One person knows about the secret bill, and the Sith Lords are fucking. But if everyone knows about the secret bill, and the Sith Lords are still fucking around, but everyone's like, man, fuck these motherfuckers, and they go kill the Sith Lords, then yes, that knowledge is power. But if the Sith Lords have too much power, like fuck these Jedi.
yeah. It's just Order
Raw
66.
power. Then
Like
fuck, power is still power, right?
yeah, we are powerless. Knowledge
Yeah,
isn't giving us more power to face that. Like
yeah.
anyway, so depressing. Uh,
So depressing, man.
on that note,
Mhm.
uh, tomorrow's Friday,
Oh
or
shit,
today
man.
it's Friday. It's
It's
long weekend.
Friday.
What are you
Oh,
doing
thank
this?
God I just paid my rent.
What are you doing this? I gotta pay it today. Yeah, I gotta pay rent today.
Paid rent
Do
like
you
a
got
couple
anything
hours
going
ago.
on this weekend?
Oh man, it's 5 o'clock. I have man, I got a bunch of stuff, man. It's my friend's birthday, so we're just like gonna go do a bunch of stuff. Got
Well,
like I gotta do some photography, going to this like dinner, and then it's gonna be a huge group there, bunch of stuff, man.
yo, next
But
Thursday,
Sunday,
let's
sorry, go
like,
ahead.
if you say like you got these people who you can bring out to the pod, and a couple of people have maybe uh expressed interest in like participating. Like, if you want, like, reach out to all these people that you've kind of like mentioned it to, and like give them an actual date that they have to commit to, and then we can
All
try to
right,
like see if we can get like a bigger panel up. It's been a little while since we've had like new faces on here, and or
yeah,
just
man,
even more faces than ours. So it'd be cool to like pick some new brains.
yeah,
But yeah, I just want to say out there, be safe this long weekend, guys. Happy Canada Day,
yeah,
and
man.
also happy 4th of July come Monday. Don't
Don't
do
drink and drive,
don't do
or
anything
else you end up in the
stupid.
back of a police car, and you don't
Be
want that.
yeah, stay safe. Check out again. I don't plug this enough, but yeah, Deji's stream on Wednesdays, Fire
Yeah,
Pit.
it's fire pit.
Uh, Check that out. And anything else
Yeah, man.
you wanna plug?
Yeah, follow my Twitch. Esquire was here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I got a
We'll have
Twitch channel too.
That's in there too. I'll put that in description tonight too.
Yeah,
But anyway, thanks Deji. Good, that was good.
yeah,
Good
man.
topic. Good talk. I don't know if we really actually hit any conclusions there. It's just more like we went off on our tangent and now we're depressed. But like, it's
All
always
good.
good. It's always good to spend this time to think about it, though. I think just the fact that we have an open conversation about it, I think, is more than a lot of people do.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys next week, Thursday, for the next BrackCast. That will be 68. So almost 69.
Shit,
Maybe we'll
son.
do something special for 69. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. And
Peace, peace.
let me see here. There we go. Later, everybody.